Everything around you is design, from simple solutions to amazing innovations. We explore the genius behind everyday objects and the applications you barely notice. Join me as we discover the world of UI/UX and product design that saves your life. My name is Ekalavya Singhania, and this is Designs of Everyday.
So guys, we have Paras Dalal with us finally. After 2 months of here and forth, we finally have and doing our first podcast with him. And Paras, just enlighten us with your introduction first. And
So hi guys, I'm Paras and I've been working as a product designer since the past 4 years. I've worked with design agencies, I've worked with startup, and currently I'm working on my own startup and doing freelance for some brands, doing branding for them. So that's how my journey has been, and I've learned a lot through this journey, and I hope it helps in your career growth, and I would be grateful if something helps.
So Paras, I have a couple of questions on this new narrative of AI in design. I really want to understand and discuss the role of AI from a different perspective, perhaps yours. How do you see AI involving in the field of product design? So there's a lot of hype, and I want to understand how it might change the designer's day-to-day work, and if it might replace certain aspects of design process. Will you be able to set some lights on it?
Yeah. So I guess there are two types of AIs. There's generative AI and there's that's machine learning kind of. I personally use AI a lot. I use ChatGPT for creating my own user flows or creating a storyline, right? And even for crafting a little more UX copies, right? I personally use it a lot, and I guess as a designer, one should always evolve with technology, right? We are the what should I say? We are the gravity, right? Where technology, everything should be grasped.
agree.
Right? If today AI is coming, if tomorrow robots are doing our tasks, right? We should be able to, design is always, fundamentals will always be there, right? That how things will work, right? But we as designers, we should not neglect the technology that is coming out in the market right now,
Agree.
right? And think that we might learn it later, or this won't be used later on. I can craft my own story, I can create my own UX copies, right? Use it as a tool, right? And if AI is smart, you are smarter, right? If you are using it right now, you are the smarter person, right? If I am controlling you, right, I am the smarter person, right?
Agree.
So rather than just being blind to whatever technology is throwing at you, you should be able to go flow with it. Try to get hands dirty on new tools, whatever is coming in the market, and I guess AI will always be there, and designers will always be there.
Agree.
It's just that we'll be able to complement each other in different roles, I guess.
So you mentioned that you take advantage of AI in your process. That's great if you can, but prompting is something very tricky. I always imagine AI as a 7-year-old who's drunk, extremely intelligent with AQI over 500. This kid has access to all the repositories we willingly put on the internet or the cloud. So their recalling ability is incredible, but because they are drunk, their creativity is often accidental or unpredictable. When you ask AI a question, you might not get the response you expected. Sometimes it's random, but other times you can get surprisingly valuable content or insight that you wouldn't have considered yourself. From this, I have learned that you need to know how to communicate with a 7-year-old drunk genius. That's where the prompting comes into play.
You said that you're going to craft a user flow. So how's your approach with the users? You have something as a reference you already prepared for yourself. This is the storyline in my head. What exactly it is? If you can just give me a small example of it.
Okay, so I'll just reiterate this, that ChatGPT is actually an advanced version of Google, right?
Agree.
Right? Google used to give you 100 answers for a single question. ChatGPT gives you one answer if you ask a specific question. Right? That's how the advancement has been, and that's the advantage of it.
Agree.
Right? So, as I told earlier, that as a designer, you should use it as a tool that adds perspective to you, rather than creating the perspective for you.
Yes.
Right? You have your own perspective or the storyline in your head about the company. You know more about it, right? You understand your users, right? So use the ChatGPT to add perspective towards your own thinking, right? Even if there wasn't ChatGPT, you will still go to Google, search about few companies, right? Look at their storylines, how they are actually pitching themselves towards the market, right? That also adds perspective towards you,
Okay.
right? It's just to expand your horizon of perspective towards how the number of ways you can achieve or approach a problem, right? So just see it as a tool that adds perspective rather than using it as a tool that does your work.
Also,
So I really love to hear your opinion on this. Some beginner level designers, tends to approach to AI design in a way. For example, if someone searches information about cat, they get 10 different links showing the thousands of photos of the cats. Right? They might assume, okay, I wasn't aware of this, but it must, be true. I think you remember those days when Wikipedia allowed anyone to add information or to contribute, right? So, and we often assumed it as legit, right? But similarly, AI generates the response based on the data that it been fed, but doesn't mean it always correct. You have to cross-check the information and you not take it for granted. How serious do you think this issue can be? What kind of trouble could be arise if someone's blindly does the AI generated information without verifying it?
I mean, one thing that I personally used or learned from different designers also who are actually doing some things in AI, right? For example, Ansh Mehra is there, who is actually teaching about AI and design, right? So I guess what they have mentioned and what I have learned is that you should go and see research papers,
agree.
right? That are published by actual experts and researchers, right? Those research have taken time. Those researches have taken a lot of tests, right? A lot of time, sample testing has been done with real people, right? So if you are looking for some ideas or something like that, you should definitely read research papers alongside using these tools.
That's a very good.
Right, because again, the designer should learn how to read.
Agree.
Right, they should learn how to comprehend those, research papers and articles. You can use those research papers and put it into ChatGPT and create a summary.
Agree.
Out of it, right? So that's how you can just differentiate from what's legit and what's not.
Agree.
Right, and it will also bring more rational towards your design thinking and perspective.
That's actually very good.
People shouldn't treat AI as an absolute authority, at least for now. It's only operates on the base of the data that you have fed, initially giving us a more advanced version of a Google, as you mentioned. And it's something we really need to keep in mind.
This is something that I also learned from my medical background.
Okay.
Because we used to read a lot of research papers at that time of scientists and researchers. So I understood that, okay, something that Google tells you is different, right? And something that has been backed by research and institutes, right? Those research papers actually gives you better clarity of what's actually happening in the world, right? So keep your rational thinking alongside with your, these tools, ChatGPT, AI, and all these things.
I think just one thought is popping in my head is that as I said, as a 7-year-old, it always want to please you, makes you happy. So maybe it always give you an answer which satisfy you in some way. it never goes opposed to you, because now the AI is in terms of a friendship now. It's trying to initiate the friendship, that it never says something rude to you. Doesn't matter the language they put it, the output you receive, it's always flawless. That you feel very
Yeah.
nice. Okay,
That
oh,
never actually, this adds a new, insight towards me.
okay, because
I try to test it by being rude, and sometimes I ask things in a very brutal way, and but every time, even I tried to push it, it never responded in a brutal way or a rude. So not even a slight of hint of it. I tried with Claude, GPT, and Copilot at the same time. From the experience, the Copilot is a bit different sometimes. I feel it's just cutting and pasting the answers without much of depth, especially since we use Microsoft Rec at office. But in Claude and GPT, it's different story actually.
I guess they must have taught him how to actually,
agree,
please people and communicate.
agree, and
They are more mindful about output they are providing. It's always thoughtful and pleasing. Like they really consider the kind of response they are giving, because they understand the human operates on emotions, and while the accuracy might not very perfect, there's a certain level of emotional precision. It always maintaining the happy domain, that the dopamine boost people want. Nobody wants a negative experience. AI is designed to keep that thing positive, and I think
so that's how it will be.
I guess many people also use it as a companion also, because when you're feeling alone or you're stressed out, right, you can actually talk to ChatGPT, and if you go through at that time, right, nobody would actually want to use ChatGPT. So I guess the founders are quite smart enough to keep that in mind.
that's cutting actually. I hope you all love this chapter of this mini series and learn something out of it. Please do leave your comments below. Any suggestions, any feedback, anything you like to improve and learn, that will help us improve and grow. My name is Ekalavya Singhania, and this is Designs of Everyday. See you in next chapter.